So I'm unlicensed to a lending team of 15 people in 2 years. First off, why? Like, what's your backstory? Why did you get into lending in the first place?
Well, as you know, we both share a father who's very passionate about the real estate world. And you were already succeeding by the time I had gotten home from my mission on the real estate side. And I really didn't want to compete with you. We had enough stuff collaboratively as is as kids. So I figured let's make something work together. And mortgage was a fit for us and your team. You could say it was the perfect fit to do. And it worked with what our family's goals had aligned.
Yeah. So guys, we got Madison Paulinchuk with Perfect Loans on with us today. Super excited, super glad that you're here. Lending's had a lot more restrictions ever since '08, ever since we had the big crash as people know it.
Yeah.
You haven't been in the business for that long, obviously since 2008. Have you heard and seen many changes since then?
Yeah, I got into lending at kind of a weird time. I wasn't here for the 2020 boom of everyone purchasing homes. I got in kind of everything had subsided from that front. But in reference to 2008, I hear, stories all the time. Obviously, I don't know much different. But yeah, guidelines were a lot less strict. I hear many people use the phrase, if they had a pulse, you could sell them the home. Yeah, we get them a loan. Now there's a lot more that goes into the pre-approval process than just having a pulse.
Well, I can only imagine. Well, you've told me a little bit about the California and Washington restrictions that have recently added I think it was for underwriting, correct?
Yeah, with pre-approval letters, they're getting a little bit stricter on what we can deem a pre-approval letter as far as, at least with our company, our CEO has said that we need to be a lot more careful on that, and unless it's been fully pre-approved by a live person, not using AI, which is our automatic underwriting system, AUS for those who don't know, we have to have an actual live person review the files.
So what does that mean for the consumers?
So for the consumers, they're going to see a lot more pre-qualifications come out. I will say, depending on who your lender is, that can mean a lot of different things, depending on who's issuing that pre-approval letter. For me and my team, we don't really issue one until we have fully gotten all the income docs. So it's basically as good as what your old pre-approval would be. We run AUS, we run everything to make sure they're fully pre-approved, but we can't issue that full pre-approval letter until we get that live underwriter. And a lot of lenders out there, unfortunately, are not doing TBD underwrites anymore. TBD.
What does that mean?
So underwriting without a property address. So being able to submit a file pre-contract, a purchase and sale contract, and having them review the file for income and assets, doing a full underwrite of the file. Strict. I think a lot of them are doing it just because it takes a lot of time away from their actual underwriting. So if they're wanting to, have faster turn times for their lenders to help promote people sending loans to them, it slows them down with having a more of an influx of the TBD ones.
Which makes sense, but in real estate, there's 1.3, 1.4 million agents nationwide right now. Lenders, what does that number look like for you guys?
We've had a big drop off. I think we're under, what was I reading? We might be over 100,000.
Really? So
I'd have to look at the statistics again. I just try to keep my head focused on what we're doing.
What's the peak in terms of how many have you ever seen in the industry?
I know COVID, they jumped a bit. I think we were closer to 500,000.
Wow. So you're down, what would that be, 80%? Not even 80%, well over.
We're down a lot. And that just, you see it on the real estate side too, where depending on how the market's going, if we're in a good market time, a lot more influx of lenders and agents. 2020, everyone was getting their mortgage license because there was a friend down the street, they could do a refinance for them or themselves, you can't do yourself, but.
No, that makes sense. What was that? I think this is last year in 1 month or in one renewal cycle, we lost 10% of the agents in the Northwest Multiple Listing Service.
Yeah.
That a lot of people, number one, they can't afford to keep their license. They get false expectations getting into the real estate just like the lending side.
Yeah.
So we're starting to see a lot of these shifts. However, 2023, you were United Wholesale Mortgage's fastest closer.
Yeah, we got an award for fastest close time, and that was awesome. I owe it a lot to the processing team and being able to, I think that's really what makes a good team is having good admin on the back end. And I know you as well see that on the real estate side is when you have that admin team that's all on the same page and we just want to get buyers homes. We want to help them accomplish their dream, like all the real estate agents out there. And I mean, when everyone's on the same page, you can make things go pretty quick.
So talk to us about 2023. Obviously speaking, fastest closer. Congratulations first off, by the way. What did your team look like at that point? How were you able to provide those results for your clients?
Oh, 2023, I hadn't started growing a team yet. It was just me. I don't think we started growing a team, I think, for its third quarter, I think, of 2024.
Okay.
So that's when we started actually. I had, one or two before then, but we really did an influx on our growth.
So when you were the fastest closer, you didn't even have a team at that point.
Nope, it was me and my processor, and that was it. It was the two of us can throw.
So what did you two do to ensure that your clients had those turn times?
Good communication with them. A lot of things I hear a lot is how people, they don't want to give us so much documentation up front. But in order to get the fast turn times, once you're under contract, you need to be providing your lender all the documentation beforehand. Because that's where we're able to do sort of a pre-underwrite, where we identify all the things that an underwriter is going to look at. Understand that, hey, because we see this on your tax returns or because we see this in your employment, this is probably going to render a letter of explanation. You need to get some more documentations, and when we can prep for that originally and send that in the first time, then fast return times are bound to happen.
That's awesome. Any major things for all the other lenders that are watching this, what can they do to ensure that they get fast turn times and can, again, shorten that time frame down for the clients, most importantly, and get them to a home faster?
I mean, it depends on the loan officer, but obviously if you're a solo loan officer out there doing your own processing, understand exactly what the process is. But I more importantly would not waste your time doing that. Instead, I would find a good processor or admin, or join a team that has a good processor and admin and have them review their file, because as a loan officer, you need to be focusing on the sales side. You need to be focused on going and growing business. I mean, I think you would give the same advice to any real estate agent. Real estate agents and loan officers were sales positions. We're not admin. I won't say I'm the best processor in the world. That's why I have an amazing processor on my team. But finding a good one that's going to do those full look through the files that are not going to just get the basic things because it's easy. We want someone that's tenacious about it. And
so as a whole, what does your processor do for you then?
everything from basically application to close. Obviously, I do all of the license activities that are necessary, but they help me gather documents. They help me review the file once it comes to closing. They help me communicate with my real estate agents and other third-party vendors that we are working with on this file, so that I can just focus on going and getting the next one.
Good for you. That's amazing.
Yeah.
There's 100,000 loan officers in the country right now. Well over 1 million real estate agents out there, which is a crazy number, by the way. There's way too many agents, in my opinion. That's a story for another day.
Well, I mean, I'm a licensed real estate agent too, and I don't use it, so I think that's where all those numbers are coming from.
That said, what do you look for in those agents that you partner with?
I have some agents that we work with that are part-time, moms that are maybe doing a deal a year, if that. But I love working with agents who are tenacious about their own growth, because if they're tenacious about their own growth and the buyers and partners that they're going to go out and find, then that can obviously help us in the long run. And we want to help them have that growth and being able to help see them succeed.
That's amazing. Good for you. So any final thoughts, anything so again, we got a lot of agents that watch this podcast. We got a lot of lenders that watch this podcast. Being one of the best lenders in the entire country, what do you recommend to any agent or lender out there that wants to partner with yourself, learn more about you and your team? Any final remarks from you?
Yeah, reach out to us. perfectfitloans.com is our website. You can find ways to either schedule time with me or my husband Sawyer, who helps a lot with our business development side of our team, to figure out how we can partner together. And if you have any buyers that you want to send our way, we're happy to help. Our link to applications is also on there, or I'm sure in the comments we can put our office number as well, so you can reach out to us.
Cool. Guys, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching this episode. That said, stay tuned for the next one.